I'm 64 years old, and what I'm about to tell you might make my oldest friends stop speaking to me. For decades, women my age have used a silent playbook to evaluate men. Today, for the sake of good men, I'm going to break that code. You believe that when a woman my age shows interest, it's about genuine companionship. A nice thought, but a dangerous one. For many, it's a mission to secure financial stability and long-term care. You think you're getting to know her, but she is quietly running an audit on your entire life. It's a test, and you don't even know you're taking it. So you need to listen to every word I say. What I am about to reveal is not comfortable, but it is critical. This is not about avoiding a broken heart. It is about protecting your peace, your dignity, and the life you built. At our age, you don't have the time to make a mistake of this magnitude. Pay attention. It begins with a conversation about the future, her future. She'll bring up her worries about rising costs, her health, or the insecurity of living alone. It will feel like she's being vulnerable, confiding in you. She is not. This is a probe. She is conducting an audit of your empathy. When she presents this list of future anxieties, she is not looking for a shoulder to cry on. She is watching to see if you will offer solutions, specifically financial ones. She is testing your instinct to be the rescuer. Her problems become a quiet request for you to balance her life's ledger with your assets. Then, you must pay attention to the emotional temperature. Her interest in you will rise and fall, not based on your connection, but on her convenience. When she is lonely, bored, or needs a +1 to an event, she is warm, available, and full of attention. But when her own social calendar is full, she is suddenly terribly busy. You have to understand what this means. You are not a priority, you are a utility, like a spare room in a house that is only paid attention to when guests arrive. You are essential for a short time when she has a need, and then you are forgotten until the next time. It's a brutal but honest truth. Ignoring this pattern is accepting a role, not a relationship. You will spend your years waiting by the phone, hoping to be needed, instead of being genuinely wanted. The former is a job. The latter is what a man of your dignity deserves. Don't confuse the two. Next comes the manufactured crisis. A small, solvable problem is suddenly presented as an urgent matter that only you can handle. A flat tire she could call a service for. A confusing bill she could call the company about. A shelf that needs fixing this very instant. But she calls you, and only you, with a sense of panic in her voice. This is a stress test for your servitude. We are applying a small amount of pressure to see if the structure of your life will bend to ours without question. We want to know if you will drop your plans, spend your energy, and make our minor problem the center of your world. It is a direct measurement of your fix-it quotient. These signs are the first layer, the easiest ones to spot if you are paying attention. But the real audition happens on a much deeper level. The next tests are far more subtle and far more dangerous because they are designed to feel like genuine connection while they are actually evaluating the total worth of your life. Stay with me. Now we go deeper. The next sign is not about a single action, but a constant, quiet investigation. She starts to study your history, your stories about old friends, past business deals, even family members you've helped. It's not curiosity. It's an audit of your social and financial past. She becomes a kind of social archaeologist. She is not listening to your stories to understand the man you are. She is digging through the artifacts of your life to determine the total value of your civilization. Every tale of a past success, every mention of a powerful connection is a piece of treasure she is mapping. She wants to know what your legacy is worth. This is where you must be careful. You think you are sharing your life's journey, building intimacy, but if you speak of grand gestures, of expensive vacations, of bailing out a friend or family member, you are not sharing memories. You are handing her the blueprint to the vault. You are teaching her exactly what you are worth and how you can be persuaded to part with it. Then comes the most subtle test of all, because it's a test you can use to turn the tables. The next time she presents you with one of her future anxieties or a manufactured crisis, do not offer a solution. Instead, you must ask one simple, powerful question. That sounds like a real challenge. What is your plan to handle that? Her reaction to this question is the single most honest piece of information you will ever receive. A woman who wants a partner will have a plan, or at least be working on one. A woman who wants a provider was expecting you to be the plan. Her disappointment is not because you were unhelpful. It's because you refused the job she was quietly offering you. Watch her face when you turn the problem back to her. Does she grow cold? Frustrated? Does the warmth she showed you just moments before suddenly vanish? That is your answer. That is the moment the mask comes off. She wasn't looking for a partner to walk with on the journey. She was looking for a vehicle to carry her to the destination. If she resents you for expecting her to be a capable adult, she has shown you her entire strategy. She has told you, without words, that her interest was conditional on your utility. To ignore this final, clear signal is to willingly hand over the keys to your life, your peace, and your future. You become the solution to her problems, and in exchange, she becomes the source of yours. Think back on the conversations you've had. How many times have you been presented with a problem and felt an unspoken pressure to solve it? Was it a plea for connection, or was it a quiet, final interview for the role of her rescuer? So far, I've shown you the signs, the silent questions, the hidden tests. Now I have to tell you the most difficult part. I have to tell you why. Because if you don't understand the reason behind it, you will always be tempted to forgive the behavior. And that is a mistake you can no longer afford to make. The first reason is fear. A deep, cold fear that lives in the hearts of many women my age. We have seen our mothers, our aunts, our friends left with nothing after a lifetime of service. We watched them lose their homes, their dignity, and their health after the man was gone. It is a terrifying lesson to witness, so a quiet, desperate pragmatism takes root. We learn that love is a beautiful emotion, but it doesn't pay for a caregiver or a medical bill. That's a brutal thing to admit, but it's the truth. The search for a partner becomes intertwined with the search for a safety net. It's a survival instinct that has been sharpened over decades of watching other women fall. This isn't about finding a soulmate, it's about finding a lifeboat. And the emotion behind this calculation is not malice. It's a profound, crippling anxiety about the future. It's the terror of becoming a burden, of being alone and helpless. That fear is so powerful that it can override almost everything else. It turns a potential partner into a potential solution. It is a cold but very real calculus. The second reason is that at our age, time is the one thing we cannot get back. A woman in her 60s knows she does not have another 40 years to build a life. She is playing the final hand. This creates a sense of urgency that can feel ruthless. She believes she doesn't have time for a man who is a project, or a man who is still finding his way. She needs someone who is already established, someone whose life is a finished, stable structure she can move into, not a foundation she has to help build. She is looking for a safe harbor at the end of a long and often difficult journey. And here is the lesson you must burn into your mind. That urgency, that fear, is her problem to solve, not yours. You are not a retirement plan. You are not the final chapter in her book. You are a man who has earned his own peace. To give that peace away to calm someone else's storm is the worst trade you can possibly make. Let me tell you a truth that is never spoken out loud. Many women my age feel they are owed. We feel we have already paid our dues in life. We raised children, we managed households, we navigated careers, we cared for aging parents. And now there is a quiet, deeply buried belief that it is our turn to be taken care of. Your peaceful, stable life is not seen as yours alone. It is seen as a reward we have earned. This feeling turns your life's work into a prize. It is the finish line after a long, hard race. Your success is not a testament to your hard work. It is viewed as the resource pool for her retirement. She is not looking to build a new life with you. She is looking to claim the one you have already built. She wants to be the queen in a kingdom she did not help create. And the worst part? We talk about it. This is not an individual, isolated strategy. My friends and I, and women everywhere, we discuss it over coffee, over the phone. We share tactics. We analyze a man's portfolio like we're discussing stocks. We will literally ask each other, "Did you find out what his pension is worth yet?" It is a quiet, collaborative hunt. The advice we give each other is cold and strategic. We tell our friends to be patient, to play the long game. We teach each other how to ask questions that sound like innocent curiosity, but are designed to map out every asset. A conversation about your favorite vacation spot is a test to see if you can afford to take her there. It is a calculated, deliberate extraction of information. And we justify this to ourselves. We call it being smart. We call it protecting our future. We've convinced ourselves that after everything we have been through, we have the right to be pragmatic. This is not about love. It is about winning a game we believe we are entitled to win. There is no guilt in this, only a grim determination to secure a comfortable end. But underneath all of it, the fear, the entitlement, the pragmatism is something even darker. It is envy. A quiet, burning envy for the peace you have built. You have a calm that we lost somewhere along the way. Your life is an orderly, stable structure, and ours has often been chaos. We don't just want your money, we want your tranquility. That is what the tests are truly about. It's not just to see if you will pay for the broken car, it's to see if you will let her manufactured crisis disrupt your calm. It's to see if she can take her anxiety and make it yours. If she can disturb your peace, she feels she owns it. She feels she has captured your most valuable asset. So all of this, the silent audit, the manufactured crises, the endless probing, it all serves one purpose. It is a systematic process to transfer your security, your stability, and your peace from your life to hers. She isn't looking for a partner to face the world with. She is looking for a world that has already been conquered, so she can move in and rule. So now you see the truth. The questions about your past, the manufactured crises, the probes into your future, they were never the random quirks of a personality. They are the deliberate steps of a silent audition. The goal was never to see if she could build a life with you. It was to see if she could acquire the one you have already built. You were never being evaluated as a partner, only as a provider. And while you now understand that this behavior is born from a deep, cold fear of the future, that knowledge is not an excuse for you to accept it. Her fear is not your burden to carry. Her anxiety is not your job to solve. A man who has earned his own peace after a lifetime of work cannot trade it away to calm someone else's storm. That is the worst trade you can possibly make. This knowledge is not meant to make you bitter. It is meant to make you wise. You no longer have to navigate these interactions in the dark, hoping for the best. You have been given the other team's playbook. You can now hear the hidden question behind her words, recognize the test in her actions, and finally understand the true motive. You are not becoming paranoid. You are becoming aware. Your peace is your most valuable asset. That is what this is all about. The tests were never just about your money. They were about your tranquility. Could your calm be disrupted? Could her anxiety be transferred to you? She envies the stability you have built, and she wants to claim it as her own. She wants to move into the kingdom you created, not help you rule it. It is a cold, hard truth to accept that someone's interest in you was conditional. It hurts to look back and see the moments you thought were about connection were actually about evaluation. But you must. Accepting this truth is what will finally set you free. It allows you to stop hoping for a different outcome from a person who has already shown you her strategy. You are a man who has already done the work. You have built a life, you have earned your rest, and you have a right to enjoy it without being someone's retirement plan. Your final years are not a resource to be plundered. They are the reward for your labor. A true partner will want to add to your peace, not subtract from it. Your dignity is rooted in this understanding. It comes from recognizing that your value is not in what you can provide, but in who you are. The man who can see the game being played is the one who can choose not to play at all. He doesn't get angry or bitter. He simply, quietly, removes himself from the board. He protects his peace above all else. So from this day forward, operate differently. Listen with new ears and a calm heart. When a problem is presented to you as a crisis, do not rush in to be the hero. You are not her rescuer. You are a potential partner, and a partner expects capability. Your new role is simply to observe and protect the life you have built. The most powerful tool you have is that simple, quiet question. When she tells you her worries, when she brings you her crisis, you must look at her calmly and ask, "That does sound like a challenge. What is your plan?" A woman who wants a partner will respect the question. A woman who wants a provider will resent you for asking it. Her reaction is your final answer. Every week, I reveal more truths that other women my age would never admit.
Inscreva-se para não ser pego desprevenido novamente.
Your story can be a warning that saves another good man. You have done the work. You have earned your peace. You do not have to play this game anymore. Your peace is not negotiable.